Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting to order. And I would like to just start out by going around and introducing everybody. I'm Bill Kaplan. I am the chair.
Good evening, Mayor Ellen Richards. I'm the vice chair. By the way, this is the Community Preservation Committee.
Thank you. Yeah, CPC, right.
CPC, right.
Mary Ellen Goodrow.
Lynn Booth, Housing.
Ralph Cooley, Historical Commission.
Sherry McKeon from the Historical Commission.
Russ Denver for the Planning Board for one final meeting.
Ah,
And our meeting next week, Jonathan Torsia will be appointed.
Right.
the
Okay.
Heard that.
Planning
Wonderful.
Board representative.
And who are
And
you?
Jeannie
Yeah.
Pongletti, Administrative
Great,
Person.
thank you. Okay, so we have called the meeting to order. The first item, excuse me, we have to review the approval of a couple of minutes. The first one will be to review and approve the minutes of April 3rd, which we had some major discussion about last time, but I'd like to ask for a motion, please, to approve the minutes for April 3rd.
I move we approve the minutes for April 3rd.
Do we have a second?
I'll second for discussion
Oh, sure, well,
purposes.
sure, I'm the I'm the parliamentarian, and we have, right, we need the approval and the second. All right, now discussion, any corrections?
No, I just asked, at the last meeting, we asked Tom if he was going to submit what he proposed that they read.
Right,
Did he
right.
submit anything?
No.
Okay.
And I did send out, I will let you know, I did send out 2 emails to him.
Right.
He was gonna be here tonight, and if he brings in something different, that's okay too. But
Okay.
no, he didn't, I did.
Then I'm ready to vote then.
Any other discussion, corrections, omissions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Anybody abstain? Thank you very much. Next we have,
Thanks, Russ. It was important
Yeah,
that we
yeah.
clarify that.
okay, next we have the review and approval of the minutes of May 1. We have a motion to approve, please.
I'll move we approve the,
I
I'm
wasn't
sorry.
here, my wife represented me.
That's fine,
Okay.
that's fine. So we need a,
But you would not be able to vote on these minutes because you weren't
Right.
here.
Right, just want to.
Right, right.
Okay.
I'll move that we approve the minutes for May 1.
do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Yes, there is discussion. In going over the minutes, there are a couple of things here. What I did note on page 4, the fourth paragraph from the bottom where it lists the May of 2018 meeting when we had voted to support $330,000. It wasn't $330,000, it was $300,000 even. More of a point of information than anything else.
Typo, right.
Right.
On the second page where it says top of the page, page 2, Ms. Goodrow said property would have to be purchased with CPC funds and then a new field could be built. I don't know that that's what I said, because that's actually not true. I don't remember exactly what I said, but I might have said that that used to be the rule, but it was
Okay.
changed. Or that you could purchase property and build a new field. But I just don't, I read that and I thought,
You
did I
just
really
strike
say
that phrase then, or?
Instead of would, maybe it should have been could.
Because you talk about purchasing property, and then the property could be designated for a field.
Right. And I might have mentioned that used to be the rule.
Okay.
But it is no longer the rule.
So you want to change that? You want to amend
So I
that?
don't know how,
Well, what is the, okay, for me, the
we
rule.
were discussing the
rule-
maintenance of the,
Right.
Right, so CPC funds are not used for repair work or maintenance, they're only capital expenditures. So,
If it's not relevant to the context, you can
Right.
just strike it.
because the sentence before talks about, Ms. Chung said the fields are in such poor condition, she feels it's beyond a maintenance issue, so you were responding to that.
right.
Property would have to be purchased, that's a new expenditure, and then a new field, which would be a capital I mean, it's not a
Or
repair.
you could build new fields on property that's already been
True,
purchased. You
true.
don't have to
True.
purchase
True,
new,
true.
and that's what I
So
think
is
that
that- is
sentence
that what the-
implied.
okay.
And so funds could be spent on new fields, maybe change it to that. Said property, that funds could be, CPC funds could be spent on new fields,
And not the maintaining existing fields.
Right, there
Okay.
can't be maintenance anyway, but new, sure, that's fine.
I mean, I really think that was the thrust of what we were trying to talk
Right.
about anyway.
And I might have mentioned how I think I did mention that it used to be the rule that you couldn't even build any new fields unless the property was purchased with CPC funds, but they changed that in 2012.
Okay, so that's an amendment, it's an amendment. Anything else?
Thank you.
Any other comments, corrections? So we have 2 corrections. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Any abstentions, Ralph? You abstain, right? Okay, thank
Do
you.
you have to have a motion to amend the minutes and then have a motion to approve the amended minutes?
No. Do
No?
we?
You do.
I
Okay,
think so.
So moved.
do we have a
Motion to
second?
amend? Okay.
We have a
Sorry, I've
se-
never done that before in
We have
all
a
the
s-
years.
Do we have a second to that?
I'll second it,
Okay.
sure.
And
So
now we
what-
need a motion to accept the amended minutes.
All right, I move we accept the amended minutes.
Second.
Okay.
Great, thank you.
Do it right.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody abstain? Anybody opposed? The other way around. All in favor? Anybody opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you very much. Okay. The next item here is the Historical Museum House, the driveway application update. Can we get some information? There were a couple of things we're gonna talk about that too, because I think I don't know if I was remiss or not, but we need to make sure it goes to the council so you get the money.
Right, thank you, Marilyn, for
I drove
mentioning
by
it.
and there was work going on and they were busily doing the plantings alongside the driveway and I thought, oh my gosh,
We're gonna do the driveway.
tomorrow. And so anyway,
I have this paper from you guys, Community Preservation, and it states here twice that we are supposed to go to the town council, which we have not done yet. But we will do that.
Okay.
I would like to get put on the town council agenda, which I'm waiting to do that, so that we can get approved.
I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Sherry McKeon.
Okay, thank you, Sherry.
And so that is our next step. We're not gonna do any paving or anything until we
Okay.
go through the right process.
now have you,
Thank
based on our conversation over the weekend, I believe you decided on a contractor for the
We
driveway.
have- Yep,
Yeah, we met
yep.
with Joe Panzetti. We got permission from Dr. Ryan, part of the Scannell Hollinger
Okay.
team, to use their driveway for shooting the concrete. And
And other than
That's-
that, we thought we were getting ready for him to tell us when he could do it, when he had an opening. But then, you know, we need to do the town council thing first, and then that will happen whenever, if we get approval.
Wonderful. And maybe I will ask, Jeannie, can you help us tell us the procedure for doing that?
Yes, so you would have to request to be on the agenda the Wednesday prior to the meeting. The next meeting is June 11, the meeting after that is June 25th. So if you wanted to get on the agenda by June 19th, is that the Wednesday before?
So because it's Wednesday and the 11th is next week, we can't get on next
The
week.
agenda is
I saw it.
very
yeah.
full, yeah, so, by Wednesday the 19th, if you notify me at the clerk's office
Okay,
and say you wanna be put on the agenda and give me the specific item, I know what it is. And then we need any supporting documents by that, Friday, the 21st.
And for your ease of everything, Sherry, her extension is 1002.
1002.
52550.
You can just stop in and see me too if you need any more
Okay, thank you.
details.
The amount that we voted for your approval, I believe was 7,600. Is that correct? I'm looking for it in the minutes. I'm
Yep,
looking.
yep.
Okay, and that meets the the extent of the bid.
And also on his estimate, he had a sales tax. I gave him the tax exempt numbers certificate, so that'll be subtracted.
Good.
Okay,
Good,
that's good.
thank you.
That's good. And one of us should be
No.
there.
the meeting.
For town council.
Yeah, if you could let me know once you've got the date set that you can be there. And that meeting will probably be, Jeannie, you said 6:25?
Yes, June 25th. Meeting starts at 6. It doesn't require a public hearing, so it'll be put on the agenda under financial matters, I think, so.
And we should have a representative there from the Historical Commission, correct?
Right, to answer any questions the council may have, and a CPC.
Right. And the copies of the, just Panzetti's document.
Okay, sure.
Is all that the council would need to
I
have.
would probably say the
All of them?
CPC application.
The entire,
and then
all
just
of the,
the contractor's, quote.
so the whole packet, guys. It's a pretty one. You got some nice pictures in here.
Where does town council meet?
Council on Aging. In their.
Media room.
In the media room of the
Council on Aging meeting.
Right.
And so the Friday prior to the meeting, the agenda is sent to all participants. So you'll get a copy of the agenda. You'll see where you'll lie on the
Okay.
agenda. So, okay.
Welcome.
I want you to do for a minute. Okay, so is there any other information about number 4, the historical museum house and the driveway and so on? Any other questions? And we don't need a motion of any kind because it's already been approved. We're all set. Like I say, you let me know and we'll make sure someone will be there. Right, probably me.
And I'll come and get on the agenda the 19th.
Mm-hmm. And I'll actually make a note of it myself when I get in the office tomorrow.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
While we're talking about driveways, just for information, when I was at the museum house, I swung through Norcross. They did a fantastic job on the driveway.
Excellent.
Absolutely. It was really,
Right.
really nice to see. Yeah.
Is it the same contractor?
Same contractor, yes.
Okay, so that's all set. Thank you very much. We just had a gentleman walk in, John Torsha. I'd like to introduce him to everybody. He is replacing Russ Denver.
He will be appointed at our next planning board meeting.
Good. Yep. And naturally, that needs to go through the town manager, correct? For her to,
I know, I
Planning
think,
board makes that
yeah,
appointment.
right,
well, no, right, but the planning board,
He'll then have to be sworn in.
right,
right.
right. Yes,
Sworn in.
so he says.
Not sworn at.
I've heard that many times, yes. Okay, very good, very good. All
I
right.
thought you were gonna be in Italy.
Leaving on Saturday.
Okay.
Lucky.
All right. Item number 5, the budget. I haven't changed this since the last time, our last meeting. Just I figured I'd leave the numbers in here for the time being. I will update them periodically. I don't think it's necessary to update them that often, but
Did we get an estimate from our coalition on the additional dollars we might expect through the state budget?
I don't
Not
think it's
yet. I
out yet
haven't seen
because
it.
there are a couple of things involved there. Number one, naturally, the amount that the House and Senate will approve. And then I've also heard that there are a number of additional cities and towns that are now going to be applying. So that'll have a big bearing on it. So,
Right.
yeah.
You know, for information, there's a public hearing for the open space and recreation plan. I believe that's next, do you guys know when it is? Next Wednesday? Well, it's soon.
It is
And-
June 12th.
Okay, and I'm interested to see what the recommendations might be for the town to acquire some additional open space, which would be exciting for us to look at what resources we have and maybe help along with that a little bit, if we can. So,
Actually, why
For
don't
what
we
it's
go
worth.
right to number 6, other business, and you can talk more about that if you like.
well, I don't have a copy of the open space plan, so I don't know what it entails. But I would imagine that they would earmark certain areas in town where it might be in the best interest of the community to try to preserve some open space, in which case we could look at it, look at it and see if it's a possibility that we might be able to, through bonding, acquire a piece of land. That would be great. But anyway,
Okay.
that's all I know.
Thank you. We may have a very short meeting tonight.
That's fine.
Pardon me?
That's fine.
Yes.
Nothing wrong with that.
No problem with that.
The ice cream places are still open.
Ice cream.
Nothing
Okay.
of ice cream bars.
Okay, so a couple of items I will mention this that are not on here, and I did receive an email from Donna Prather regarding Heritage Park. They're really holding off at this point because there's a number of items they're working on, and she asked me to actually take them off the agenda for this month. We're going to talk in a minute naturally about future meetings, and we'll see what happens in the fall. We do still have their application for the additional larger amount, which I will ask that it be put together in a way where they'll show us what they are asking for and not what they're lining out and so on. But so that's why that's not here. Does anybody, number 7, does anybody have anything special that they'd like us to bring up now? From what I can tell at this point, we've talked about this briefly, we will not have a meeting naturally in July, it's the night before the 4th, and not going to meet in August unless there's any reason to do so. Anybody have anything else they'd like to put on a future agenda?
I have no specific information, but I was approached by Joe Ford, town councilor, who is the head of the parents that are dealing with the condition of the fields in town, and he mentioned that they were meeting maybe tonight, this week, and that they may have some sort of application for us for the fall. I suggested that perhaps they run it by us beforehand to find out if it meets the criteria before we waste a lot of time.
True.
So that's out there. I know, I'm sure we'll hear from them. So that's at least 2 projects that we're looking at.
Okay. And we do have, and we had voted on this a couple meetings ago, we have, the deadline for new applications, April 1 and October 1, so people have plenty of time now to get in any applications they might want to submit to us. And we will look at them in October. Anything else specific on that you would like to have put on the agenda for, excuse me, and I'm going to assume, and as we've done in the past, we're looking at the next meeting will probably be September 4th. As you know, it's always the first, for you, John, the first Wednesday of the month, September 4th and October 2. So we have time naturally to put together an additional agenda. If anybody wants, you can always email me with information. But anything that anybody might want us to discuss now for the future meeting. Okay. Wow. This is going great. I really appreciate this. And again, the next dates we will set, and actually Marilyn and I will talk about this. We have to check with the library, but September 4th and October 2nd. We can always set dates, and frankly, if there, as we've done in the past, if there's nothing to discuss, we won't have a meeting. But if there is, we will. So hopefully those dates sound okay to everybody. September 4, October 2. You put them on your calendar, John? That's great, thank you. Thank
You'll
you.
be back by then, won't you?
Okay.
I'll move to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn.
I just mentioned 2 things, I'm sorry. I did put a link on the website of the criteria for people, that page, Marilyn, that you told me that you quoted the last meeting, so that's there. And is everybody getting the newsletter?
Yes.
Which
Okay.
newsletter?
Is it from the CPA?
CPA, yeah.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. And Jonathan, if you can give me, I'm sure I have your email and phone number, but if you can just email me and give me your current, I can add it to the information list for the contacts. Okay, thanks. All right.
And John, if you can also get me your email address, I'll add you. Okay, so now do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful summer.